The absolute biggest mistake creators make with AI, they're using it for ideas, not output. Welcome to this explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into how successful creators have completely stopped treating AI like some basic search engine or chatbot and started using it as their own personal content distribution machine. Let's get right into it.
You don't need more content ideas. You need a system that turns one idea into 10 pieces of content. If you are feeling that deep burnout from being on the constant content treadmill, you probably have a reuse problem, not a creation problem. You've already done the incredibly hard work of writing that post or recording the material. Now, you just need leverage.
This shift in mindset is actually pretty simple. While an amateur creator seeks inspiration and starts completely from scratch every single time they stare at a blank page, a systems creator does something totally different. They input one core idea to generate literally weeks of output. It's basically the difference between hoping to hit a lucky jackpot and just building a reliable assembly line.
So, here's our roadmap for building your new AI workflow today. We'll start by looking at the distribution gap, then we'll move on to starting with a core idea, letting AI multiply your content, and finally, building consistency through systems.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the content distribution gap.
Okay, here's the harsh truth that's holding most creators back. Your competitors aren't necessarily more creative than you are. They just have better infrastructure. The distribution gap is what happens when you create one amazing piece of content, publish it exactly once, and then just let it disappear into the void. Meanwhile, your competitors are taking their one asset and multiplying it, completely dominating platforms everywhere all at once.
I mean, just look at the data on this. HubSpot actually shows that businesses that regularly refresh and repurpose their content generate a staggering 76% more traffic than those relying solely on entirely new posts. Publishing something once and just moving on is honestly the single biggest waste of your time.
Moving right along to Section 2, starting with your core idea.
Now, your starting point shouldn't be thin or generic at all, because remember, AI is a formatter, it's not an original thinker. To get great outputs, you need a really strong core asset. You want to start with a personal opinion, maybe a hard-learned lesson, a unique customer problem, or just a totally unique perspective. The deeper and richer your source material is, the higher the quality of your output is going to be.
When you're building this foundation, you have to keep the 80-20 rule in mind. You supply the real ideas, and then you let AI do 80% of the heavy lifting. We're talking things like formatting and rough drafting. And then you step back in for that absolutely vital 20% high-value human polish. That's where you inject your unique voice, verify the facts, and really sharpen up those hooks.
Okay, on to Section 3, letting AI multiply your content.
You really want to think of this workflow exactly like a highly efficient factory. So first, you capture a transcript or your source material. Next, you instruct the AI to extract the best hooks. Then, you have the AI transform those into platform-specific drafts. After that, you manually review them for your specific brand voice. And finally, you just schedule and hit publish.
And just look at how one asset cascades in this output matrix. A single 1,500-word blog post or strong idea can instantly be transformed by your AI factory into a full video script, 3 distinct LinkedIn posts, an Instagram carousel, short-form video hooks, a newsletter blurb, and even a quote graphic. It's incredible. One creation effort yields this massive distribution web.
But here is the catch, and it's a big one. You have to master platform-specific adaptation. Your AI prompts must be super precise. You can't just treat every platform the same way. You have to specifically instruct the tool to generate a professional 150-word insight for LinkedIn, a punchy 250-character hook for X, or a conversational take for Instagram. If you just ask for a summary, AI is going to give you generic filler. But give it format constraints and an exact tone, you get pure gold.
Section 4, building consistency through systems.
Now, the secret to consistency really isn't willpower at all. It's workflow. It's about creating repeatable formats so you stay visible without constantly starting from zero. Research actually suggests it takes over 20 minutes just to regain focus after switching tasks. So stop switching gears. If you try to write content daily in real time, you are losing countless hours of your week to friction. Instead, batch your work to stay in creator mode. Take one focused afternoon and schedule a whole month's worth of content in one sitting.
As you start to automate this baseline, there are a few common repurposing traps you absolutely need to avoid. First off, never just copy-paste without adapting the tone for the platform. What works in an email will flop on social media. Second, definitely don't use weak source material. And please, absolutely do not publish all 15 pieces of your repurposed content on the exact same day. Spread it out.
And finally, Section 5, removing the creative friction.
I love this quote, and it addresses the elephant in the room about AI destroying imagination. AI doesn't replace creativity. It removes the friction between having an idea and sharing it. This is exactly why you shouldn't fear these workflows. AI handles all that mechanical, tedious formatting, which means your completely unique human spark can actually scale up and reach the audience it deserves.
So now that you have the playbook to turn a single thought into a whole month's worth of content, it is time to take some action. Stop letting your best work just disappear after one day. Take a look at your archives, find that one brilliant lesson you learned, and ask yourself, what core idea will you multiply today?